Welcome everybody. Second week. The second, the ad's
There's an advertisement playing.
There is an ad, but it's that delay. Remember?
But can they hear you?
Yeah, they can. Like the ad will finish, and then they will come in.
Yeah, because we're on the titch.
My nose looks big.
Yeah, you have a big nose.
Yeah.
Do I?
All right. Welcome everyone. Second week, P.Switch Podcast.
Well,
as always,
second series.
Second series, yeah. I'm your host, Ryan Dunn, with John Manier.
Oh, wow.
I know. As he
took 2 weeks off to practice that, I see.
And AJ Lanigan, as always.
Oh, they can see us
yeah, you can see us this time, which is crazy.
As I'm biting my nails.
You can
We have
you
that-
can send this and choose.
We don't have that generic P.Switch gaming logo podcast thing.
Yeah, no, we don't have any of that today.
We should have had some, fancy editing and put pictures of the games in there. But
Well, this is live. I can't do that crap live.
I'm talking about for the podcast from last time.
I could have.
Just that
Well, we
editor.
have the worst editor, though.
He is trash.
Garbage. So.
Trash.
Can you believe he, bleeped out jackass?
Not pussy.
Oh, Jesus.
If he wasn't free, I swear to God, we'd fire him.
I know. I've got a couple. Never mind.
Alright, but
Someone might see this.
Some
Coming live to you from Rock'em Sock'em Retro.
Yeah.
Unwrap the past.
Yeah.
This Christmas, 2017.
Give John your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me your money.
But yeah, this week's topic is game collecting worth it?
Nope.
And other things kind of associated and with that a little bit, like emulation and like problems you may face collecting and collector's editions and if they're worth it, which you can kind of tell where John
shortest podcast in history. No.
Yeah, we can tell where John's at on this whole thing.
I gotta be honest, I did not prepare for this podcast at all.
I don't think any of us
with
prepared
any
that much
research or anything like that. I can speak to collecting from a retro standpoint. New stuff, I know we're gonna get into collecting new stuff, but
Especially digital.
especially with all the digital. I mean,
Ryan's got a boner for digital and indie.
no one would ever notice.
I don't have a boner for it, but I do love indie games. Some of them are really good.
I absolutely don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and this week they've taken away my pen.
Yeah, no pen.
Yeah.
So I can't click it.
Yeah.
Playing with this paper clip.
Well, I wasn't going to click that, so.
You just destroyed a priceless Youngblood action figure.
All right, so where are we starting at? Start us off, host.
Well, why don't we just start off with our general feelings on it? Is game collecting worth it? I think it really depends on what system it comes down to.
Mm.
But yes, I kind of have to say yes, because otherwise I do something as a hobby that is totally just shitting on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take into account the reasons why you're getting into game collecting. If you're getting into game collecting to try and flip it and resell it, then no, because the stuff is just way too high these days. But if you're trying to buy your childhood, relive the nostalgia, and play what you used to play, or try to discover new stuff, then yes, it's worth it, because playing it on the original hardware is always going to be better than emulating it. Internet can fight me.
Is that totally true?
It is. I will never pick playing emulation over playing, even playing with the SNES Classic, when we were going to try and stream Super Mario World. It wouldn't be the same as if we hooked up the Super Nintendo and played it on that.
He brought up a good point. It really depends on the system. And as time goes on, certain systems are going to fall to the wayside as far as collecting. I mean, it's already happening right now. Look at Atari. How many people collect Atari anymore? Atari is...
The Game Chasers.
Well...
That's about it.
We're not plugging other...
I'm not plugging. I'm just saying.
Mountain Dew. But, Atari is completely gone to the wayside. There are so few people that collect it. I mean, I know they're out there. Mm-hmm. But, here, Atari is the worst selling thing for me. And in 10, 15 years, is Nintendo the next Atari? Is anyone going to collect that anymore?
I think Nintendo itself will hold on from namesake alone. But, I mean, there's a lot of people who have bad feelings with Atari still, just over everything that happened with them. And
yeah, and I mean, Nintendo collecting is tough right now, because about 7-8 years ago, everyone decided I am going to collect Nintendo. And I was included in that. Me and my wife, we we went kind of stupid, but
you had a sizable collection.
We had a sizable collection, and we decided. She bought me a Nintendo for Christmas. She bought me like 3-4 games, and I said I want the rest. And we spent the next 7-8 years trying to do that, and the store was born because of that. But right now I think most Nintendo has leveled off as far as pricing. Stuff isn't going crazy anymore. But 7-8 years ago, you could buy a little Samsung for $50.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that was still the case.
And now you're paying $1,500 all day long, loose.
And it's selling. That's what's crazy.
And it's selling now. The big fear, because I'm pretty in tune with the Nintendo collecting community. The big fear is the bubble's gonna pop.
Yeah.
And stuff is just gonna plummet.
Great.
Which would also be great.
Yeah.
For some people, no, that won't hurt me. I don't care. I sold at the right time.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's the big fear. Is it worth it if you're collecting because you think you're gonna make millions or it's your retirement anymore?
Yeah.
I would be concerned. You really have to watch how prices are trending right now. Stuff like Dreamcast is on the rise. GameCube is always rock steady.
Mm-hmm.
That never changes. Sega,
it's
but
that generation.
There's certain systems that are on the rise right now. A lot of the disc-based systems, Dreamcast is on the rise.
PS2's good.
PS2, there's so much garbage on PS2. There's a few in there that are on the rise. But in general,
Brian knows.
Sega Saturn's on the rise right now.
You guys want to talk PS2 collecting?
Sega CD's on the rise.
Which is so weird.
Dreamcast is on the rise. And then, like I said, there's certain systems that are just, they hold steady no matter what. GameCube's one of them. PS1 pretty much holds steady on its prices constantly.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that went up and down with that lately was Crash, because it went up once the remake came out.
Yeah, the remakes are a different story, because remakes always make people nostalgic. I mean, like with the SNES Classic and the NES Classic that came out, prices on NES Classic, some of those games skyrocketed. But what was weird, when the Super Nintendo Classic came out, prices plummeted. Earthbound dropped. A lot of the titles that were on there, Earthbound dropped a lot. It's restabilized now. It's gotten back to about 190, 180 loose, which, depending on where you're from, yes, it is going to be a different price there. But around here, 180, 190 loose. So, I mean, is collecting worth it? New gen, absolutely not.
I could disagree. There is certain new gen stuff that's becoming very popular, and it kind of goes back to... Yeah, most people. It goes back to what AJ was saying about indies and
yes. Let me text Caleb.
Yeah.
Continue.
And those things was limited run games are a huge thing right now,
and it's only going to get bigger next year.
Yeah. So, in terms of Switch is getting its own set of limited run games now, but at that point, is this also going to show that no matter what, companies maybe can have a physical copy? It's kind of debatable still, but these guys are selling out random, just indie titles for PS4 like in minutes.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember I wanted to get Octodad, and it was one of the ones that lasted longer, and I just still within 3 days I think it was gone or something crazy. And now you're lucky to get it in 30 minutes if you're lucky.
Yeah, when I tried to get Night Trap, I literally took a break from work. I was like, I need 10 minutes to go get this game. Get it bought,
yeah, but I'm sure that's already ripped in somewhere online.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's online. But here's the thing. They already were there.
Right.
These are people who want a physical copy.
Yeah, I get that. I new systems I do not see any collectability for.
And but do you see no collectability in them because the games just don't have a nostalgic appeal yet?
It's the systems themselves are not going to hold up over time.
Mm-hmm.
At all. They don't already. I mean, what do you get out of a system now? 4 years?
If that. Brian's been through how many
I don't want to talk about it.
You know what I mean? The systems are not going to hold up, so the games are not going to hold up. I mean, we can talk disc rot and all this other crap.
Yeah. those people who are worried about disc rot.
But the other thing is,
a little bit.
You know, you can see it across the video game market, that physical copies of games are not as important to people as they used to be with stuff like Steam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can see GameStop's changing their business model. They're going a lot more back towards collectibles and toys and video game merchandise instead of video games. If you go into any of their stores right now, you're going to be overwhelmed with crap like that because they realize most people download.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be where, you know, when you had a Nintendo game and you played it and your friend wanted to, you could borrow your copy, you write your name across the back, crap. Like, people don't do that. They just download the game.
Yeah.
Half the time illegally. So I don't see any collectability for new gen. I mean, you know, we're going to talk collector's editions, and that might be a different story. There are some people out there that, I want physical copy. I only buy physical copy. I don't download anything.
I try to. Whenever I can, like, if I know that a game is going to have a physical release down the line, then I'll wait. Because, like, Ukulele for the Switch has been not out yet.
Yeah, it's supposedly coming.
It's supposedly coming, but that's the version I'm waiting on because...
Man, I don't know. There's talks that game might have just flopped too hard, and for the people looking in.
No, that was for the camera.
Oh, okay. It's like,
that
the
money.
are you doing? But yeah, there's always going to be that.
Did you see the replay?
So I'll catch it in editing.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be that physical market, for sure, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think.
But it will definitely move towards just PCs.
Yeah, well, I mean, download services are more and more prevalent.
I'll take that back for one thing. It'll move towards PCs and Nintendo, because Nintendo will never publish on any other thing other than their own. They'd rather die.
They are stingy, and it's worked for them.
Well, I mean, to be fair, what happened when they didn't do it? When they did the Philips stuff?
That's true.
Both Zeldas and Hotel Mario.
I think there's always going to be some small market as far as retro collecting goes, and I mean cart-based games.
Yeah.
I think there's always going to be a market for that. Now, whether or not it tanks and Nintendo turns into Atari where it's $1 a game, I don't see it happening.
No.
I can definitely see that happening with Genesis, and I'm surprised it hasn't yet because it's garbage.
It's not garbage.
It is.
But, okay, if you're going to talk about what has a lot more shovelware crap on it, the Genesis, no. I will say there's more good games on the Wii than there is the Genesis.
No way.
Yeah, I will.
Why does everyone hate the Wii so much? I never understand
You
why.
give Brian so much for putting a Wii game on his list last
Because
week.
in the grand scheme of things, no, there should be no game on a Wii that would be in a top 15 list. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, but Wii is not that bad a system. Yeah, it got a lot of crap, but it also outsold any other system ever.
Yeah.
You could buy those. You could buy those at Walgreens towards the end of the run. I mean, Walgreens selling video games.
Mm-hmm.
The Rite Aid in Finley still sells Game Boy Advance games.
Wait, it does?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll have to go check
Mary
out
Kate
Rite
and
Aid.
Ashley.
Oh, dude, my favorite anime. But yeah, no, cart-based stuff will definitely, because this is going to last longer for one.
Yeah, it will go down eventually, but it's never gonna not be. It's never. I don't think a lot of it's ever gonna hit the Atari prices.
Silent service.
No, but there is always the talk of when like the Half-Life shit hit of the plastic and stuff and the metal made to make those games comes, and it's just God. Can't.
Replay.
Sorry, the John mug shotting is getting into us.
Yeah, but what is the half-life on that stuff?
I have no clue. I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it anywhere.
8,000 years? I mean, the only thing that goes bad on a Nintendo game is a battery, and how easy those are to replace.
Yeah.
You know, in disc games, and that's the other thing, is disc-based systems or new-gen stuff is much more fragile than the old stuff was.
Yeah.
I mean, I can throw a copy of, you know, we'll go Genesis, so I don't keep giving Nintendo props, but I can throw a copy of Splatterhouse against the wall, pick it up, and still play it.
Mm-hmm.
I can play games if the shell's completely gone, the board's still good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to kill them unless you get them wet. Xbox game, drop it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even the systems, like
the systems, yeah, even the old systems.
They're not made to last.
I mean, you guys have seen in Nintendo of New York, they have that Game Boy that survived the bomb blast in the war.
Oh, I didn't know they had that there.
Yeah, and it still works. It's melted. It's in horrible shape. It has to be plugged in all the time, but whatever. It still works.
Still functions.
You do that with an Xbox One or a 360 or even any disc system really, and that's all the way back to PS1. Mm-hmm. They are not built to last, and they won't. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's gonna hurt any collecting possibility. I mean, in 40 years, if you have a working PS1, I mean that might be the gem of your collection. You know what I mean? Like, or a working PS2 because the lasers are so bad in them.
Oh, dude, I've so many PS2s. I've had to fix that stupid laser.
I refuse to.
But I mean that does come with this territory as well as learning repair.
Yeah. Well, I refuse to. I refuse to repair disc-based systems. Mm-hmm. I won't do it.
It's something I want to learn more about is fixing systems and fixing carts. Like I was looking up how people test and fix N64 carts the other day, and that for them it required a multimeter and just test connections and soldering equipment just so they can remelt solders.
Well, I will fix N64 stuff, but so like GameCube comes in and the disc reader's bad. I'm not fixing that.
It's just too much of a hassle.
It's a hassle. The parts are mine, and I don't sell them for enough to justify my time going into it. Mm-hmm. I think I sell GameCubes for maybe $40.
Yeah.
If I spend an hour working on that thing, I mean, what do I want to make an hour? You know what I mean? And I just got $25 in parts. Are you kidding me? Right. It's not worth my time.
It's not worth the resell time, but for the avid collector, something you're definitely going to have to learn.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't repair your own stuff, I mean, and the other thing, and this is a good point to bring up too, is that, and I'm glad you said something that brought this to my head. With the new systems coming out, there's actually less and less repairs coming in to shops that fix new systems. And the reason why is because if someone, say the disk drive goes out, they don't need to get that fixed to still play games. They can just download games.
That's true.
I was just talking to another store locally that does repairs and stuff, and he goes, I haven't gotten repairs in a long time because all these new systems, they just download games then. They don't get it fixed. Why would you pay to get it fixed when you can just download a game and play it? You don't need a physical copy anymore. Yeah. At all. So that's another good thing.
But maybe that's something I see as a bonus eventually for the people who are like, I want to collect PS4. And this is, 15 years down the line where they don't have that option.
Yeah, but are they going to collect PS4? That's the thing. With the way that they are pumping these new gen consoles out constantly, I mean, every year we get a new drop. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between the 360, the Xbox One, and the Xbox One X?
Between the Xbox One X and the Xbox One, just a little bit of hardware to make it go up to 4K.
It's the most powerful game.
I don't give a fuck. Give me a game that I actually want to play on, and
here's the thing:
fucking care.
The human eye cannot detect the difference in graphics between the 360 and the Xbox One X. Once you get to a certain level, your human eye cannot detect them. Yeah, they can say, "Oh, better graphics." Well, you can't tell. I'm not wrong. Go ahead and do all you want, but I'm not wrong.
I'm saying you can tell certain things. And
I'm not saying that's true on every game, because some games didn't have the best graphics.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can remaster and make it look different, but technically speaking, the graphics, the human eye can't tell the difference. So all you're doing is just getting more expensive thing, and every year we're getting a new system with more and more games for it. And how many games are they releasing per system now? With collecting is impossible for it.
Yeah, but as I said, I'm also looking at it from 10 years from now. People start. We'll have seen at least one new PlayStation by then, and you come back.
Yeah, we'll see like 8 more PlayStations by then.
We'll see.
New generation.
E3 this year. I would be very surprised actually if we don't see the PlayStation 5. It's 5 years. Been 5 years.
Yeah.
It seems
You'll
so much
see
shorter amount of time, though.
It will not drop this up. It will not drop in 2018. It'll drop unless it's ass end holiday 2018. Then it might drop.
It just feels like to me, been 5 years, but it seems to me like there's a new gen console coming out every year.
Well, that's because they do the tiny updates on them,
which is ridiculous. It's most disgusting money grab ever, and we let them get away with it.
Yep, thanks Nintendo.
Nintendo doesn't do that.
Yes, they do.
They have never done that.
Well, what is the top loader? What is the SNES Mini?
That wasn't like a year
Well, the top loader. Hold on, the top loader. You're going way back.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm talking about.
The top loader was not a money grab. The top loader was a actually cheaper version of the NES. Because the top loader came out around the same time as the Super Nintendo, actually after the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cheaper than the original Nintendo was to buy in stores. It didn't have the AV output.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was generally described as the poor man's Nintendo.
Yeah, but it's...
And granted, it did not sell as well, so now it's more.
Yeah.
It's worth more.
But it's still a second generation of the same console.
Well, yeah, but it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, the PS4 comes out, the PS4 Pro comes out.
6 years later.
Yeah, but that was the PS3 though too.
Yeah, it was 6 years later.
It wasn't like you had the PS3, then you had the PS3 Slim like a year or two later, and then smaller than that a year or two later.
Yeah.
Nintendo waited like 5-6 years before the top loader came out.
I'm not saying that they did it like constantly, but it does start there.
And and to be honest, if Nintendo had released it like it was released in Japan, because the top loader looks a lot like a Famicom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they made it look more like a VCR because they wanted people to think home and entertainment, not games. Because, the crash, Atari ruined video games in the States.
Love them.
And Nintendo had to reimagine how to put it out, because if they put out that little thing that looks like a Famicom, it looks like a video game console. It looks like something that's going to break easy. It's a toy. They made it look like a VCR on purpose.
Yeah, it was a marketing ploy for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the Nintendo coming out with the NES in America was very much, we're not video games, we're entertainment.
Yeah.
And you can see where you can ask them, like, there is no such thing as the NES. If you ask them, there's the Nintendo Entertainment System, but there's not the Nintendo video game system. No,
and there's not. Yeah, I mean it's but yeah, they just keep coming out with the same system, tweaking it a little bit. It's a shameless money grab, and they get away with it. And every company does that to a point.
Yeah,
but
because I would say when I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine. I'm just curious, what's going to be the difference between a PS4 and a PS5? What's going to be the difference between an Xbox One?
The PS5 will finally play, from disk drive 4K stuff, because it doesn't right now, which was just horseshit.
And what's the next Xbox iteration going to do?
I think Xbox is done after this. Honestly,
I would argue that they're going to go where there's no physical copies. I think we're going to come to that point where they
do that already.
They have. I know, but it's coming. I mean, look at how much Steam has picked up.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the Steam because it's run by Valve, and I don't have a lot of faith in Valve other than in Gabe Newell. Because when he is gone from that company, that thing is going to go down the shitter, and you can tell it's already happening because of how many games that they just let through that whole network that are just trash, unfinished. And that's why they had to put a refund system in there. Yeah. I don't know if you knew about that. There's a refund system in Steam now where if you've only played the game for like under 2 hours and it's within like the first week of purchase, you can give it back and get your money back.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't use Steam though.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
No, it's not. Like I said, I always do hard copies, and I do it because, well, I can resell them once I'm done with them.
Yes.
And
dirty reseller.
I am a dirty, scummy reseller, and I'm okay with that.
Pat's gonna come after you. Shame.
Bring it. Like I care.
Yeah.
So is collecting worth it? If you're collecting for your own purposes, especially as far as retro goes, and you're not think you're gonna make $1 million off it, yeah, 100%. But, right now, it's not a bad time. It's a bad time to get into it. It's not a bad time to sell.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a good time to sell. But if you're
great time to sell, bad time to try.
Yeah. If you're trying to get into it now to try and get a full
well,
set
it depends. It depends on what you're going after.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're going to get a full set of like NES games, just stop because you're gonna sell your soul.
That goes to the conversation whether there's actually a thing or a real complete set, definition of a full set.
Definition of full set for me is whole run. That's like, let's say, like with a company like this is an official release on this system. So all licensed games on the system.
Okay,
that's a full run for me.
And if
but
you
then
are,
do you count stadium events?
It's licensed. Yes, I count stadium events.
Some people don't count stadium.
It wasn't.
Well, because
it was released though, so it's licensed.
No, it was released. Nintendo bought the rights to it.
Right.
Pulled it off the shelf and re-released it as track and field.
Right, but stadium event still has the Nintendo seal on it, doesn't it?
We'll come back to that because we're not sure on if the stadium events is officially licensed. But if it is, then yeah, it's in there.
Yeah, well, I think the main thing if you're going to start collecting is you really have to define what you're going for.
Mm-hmm. I got away from that at one point.
I always use NES as my example because that's what I collected. Are you going to go for full licensed and unlicensed? Are you going to go for 3-screw variant and 5-screw variant? Are you going to go for all the label variants? Are you going to go for all the promo cards? Are you going to?
Don't forget boxed.
Are you going to go boxed or unboxed? It's a nightmare. Once you get one boxed game, are you going to try and get the rest? And that's what happens.
Are you going to go sealed and be crazy?
Super Nintendo's just as big a nightmare because of all the competition cards, the blockbuster exclusive stuff. Same with N64. N64 is the easiest library to collect in the entire world. You can probably do it for under $5,000.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Mm-hmm. Very easily, and I'm talking paying ridiculous high retail.
Yeah.
The most expensive
there's
game.
You guys' homework for the week. Start collecting N64.
N64. The most expensive game is $300 loose.
And what is it? Sculptor's Cut?
Sculptor's Cut.
Yeah.
Well, unless you count them not for resales, then I guess.
Well,
you can still
Yoshi European one too.
Yoshi store because Donkey Kong, there's a great card not for resale. It's like $800 just a Zelda.
If that's where you have to set your parameters on what you're gonna do. And GameCube's not hard whatsoever. I'm going through all the Nintendo systems. Sega, easy. It really is.
Steven's still doing GameCube right now, and he's got like 90% of the heavy hitters.
Steven has all of his big money titles out of the way.
I think the last one he's got left is Disney Basketball.
Yeah, because he's got Cubivore, he's got all that. But if you want to collect for volume, my God, PS2.
Over 2,000 titles in the library.
And for a while there, I was contemplating going for a full set.
I don't know why.
Because I've got most of the big hitters out of the way.
Yeah, but over 2,000 games, and 99% of them are garbage.
99% of them are sports.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, and I was like, I could. And then I could just have them build a casket out of the boxes for me.
Pretty much. They're terrible.
Yeah. As much as I love that system.
PS1's not that hard to collect for either. There are systems out there that are still generally easy to collect for.
And cheap.
Yeah,
and cheap.
PS2, original Xbox.
Original Xbox is dirt cheap.
Yeah, the most expensive game on original Xbox right now, I think, is $200.
Yeah, but
that's an import.
But you know what? Original Xbox is going to start going up, and it already kind of has with them going backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the games have started to spike, especially as they go backwards compatible. And they're talking about doing the whole library.
Yeah.
We had a mad rush for
Stubbs the Zombie.
No.
Great game. 10 out of 10.
I think
Woodchuck Brains.
The Halos. A couple of Halos. Yeah. And even with 360 going backwards compatible, you know how many people came in here asking for Black Ops 2? And that jumped $10-15 in price.
Wow. Because CODs hold no value.
No. They I don't want to get into that. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm tired. So I'm just going to stop talking.
But yeah, there's one other problem with that Xbox collecting right now, and it comes back to that whole repair issue. Xbox, this is the first year, I think, that original Xboxes, their capacitors are starting to go bad. So they need replaced. And yet again, if you, I guess we kind of hit the point home of, if you want to do this, you have to do it for something you love. There's no money in this in the long run.
Yeah, just be prepared to lose money. You might not. You might make out like a bandit. But, I mean, like I said, I picked the right time to sell.
You picked the right time to sell, but you also are still surrounded by video games.
Every day. And I hate them. So, I guess let's move on to collector's edition type stuff.
So,
which I'll just tell you no.
Yeah, John will tell you no, because it's just not. It's not his thing. Yeah, but and I guess this kind of goes in with collecting for modern, because there's a lot of junk.
Oh, you should show that.
Yeah.
Buy this at Rock'n'Sock Retro for.
The camera's up there.
Yeah, but
stupid.
Yeah, the Dragon's Lair. Ooh, neat.
It's choppy.
Yeah, I don't know why it's choppy right now.
Too much sexiness.
Oh yeah, there we go. But collector's editions are kind of one of the hits of like modern day collecting, and we definitely brought some to show you, because these whole things run this gamut of whether or not they're worth it, because paying an extra, and I didn't buy this full retail. This is Tales of Xillia's limited edition, which came with an art book. And originally, I think it was an $80 game. It was a $20 upcharge for an art book. That's not worth it.
No.
Not at all.
Wait, look at the back.
Oh, right here, let's see. Oh, and a soundtrack and a little bit of DLC.
I mean, I don't think that's
no.
helpful.
Wasn't worth it. Because for $80, and I regret this, if only because I don't like the game. I got this bad boy. Oh my god.
Oh.
Listen, I
don't like the game.
This.
But this is great shelf porn.
Yes.
Because I'll just open this guy up.
No need.
Yeah, no, we totally have to.
I can just go get a trash can and show them what's in that.
AJ, hold that down. Yeah.
I don't like the hands being so
I'm not even going to help. I refuse to help.
Yeah, because it's tearing.
Welcome to the struggle bus.
Yeah. Hey, hello, adorable Whisker.
Whiskers?
Yeah, something, I think. Yeah. Yeah. This guy was the same price. You can hit that switch on the Genesis. It says Sega. Yeah, it's
so stupid.
It's so great.
As much as I don't like Sonic, I was so willing to give this
out of the box. Do you display it like that?
Yes, I displayed it out of the box.
Yeah.
I have no issue with it coming out, because I am a big kid and I play with my toys.
Mine is literally sitting on top of my game case in the living room.
We should have done the stream from my basement.
We
With
should
my
have,
Switch
which
right
sounds
next to
really
it.
creepy. Here, I should put that back there for now. But yeah, that was the same price, and it makes no sense. So collector's editions definitely.
Well, but you also have to remember that that's digital and not physical.
That's true.
Which is my only gripe with that.
Yeah,
Which is ridiculous that you can buy that and you don't actually get a physical copy.
yeah. Because
And
Sega wanted to cheap out.
I'm still pissed off about that. I didn't even buy the damn thing.
But yeah, there's that, and then there's things that you just have to watch out what you get from friends that are collector's editions. Should we show this? Otherwise, I don't know if we can put this on your.
I don't see why not.
I was gonna say, are you gonna be able to post this back?
It's not like it's.
It's not filthy.
No, it's just weird.
But yeah,
It's suggestive.
yeah, it is very suggestive. A gift from a buddy.
What is it? Say it out loud.
Say it out loud.
For the blind.
The record of Agarest War with its nice
The really,
boob mouse pad.
the really naughty limited.
Yeah, the
edition.
really naughty limited edition, and it's pillowcase. You just ever feel dirty holding something?
Show off your goodies, right?
Yeah. Oh. Turn around, bright eyes, every now and then. Oh.
If you could never sing that again.
Yeah. I know.
Dude, you say that about every song I sing, which is
Which should
Yeah,
tell you
keep
something.
singing.
Which should tell you something.
there you go. Ugh. That
I'm
filthy
pretty sure
crap.
I-
Yeah. Alright, just show off one of your special editions that you brought, because this is
I
definitely.
was trying to get that Pepsi brand deal. Alright, so.
Pepsi likes boobs. There we go.
My first collector's edition that I bought that I can remember was the Legendary Edition of Halo 3 with this dope Master Chief helmet. It also had the Steelbook version of Halo 3 in there. And I didn't buy this day one. This was probably the third time that I bought Halo 3. I bought it on release day. I bought the Steelbook because it got marked down at Walmart. And then this was like originally like 100...
Oh, thank you, Fox, for sorry for the follow.
Rude. 130.
Mid-sentence.
I know.
I interrupt you all the time. Shut up.
Wow.
$130.
Castmates.
Oh my god, Brian. And I think I paid $60 for the Legendary Edition. So at Best Buy because they're clearancing now because they made a lot of these, so it's not exactly rare.
Yes, they did.
But
Well, that's the other thing. Collector's edition.
Yeah.
So few of them are actually.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of where that limited run stuff starts coming in. Like when it's limited, they're like, we have this one set.
But who does limited run?
Limited run games.
Exactly, that's it.
Yeah. Well, no,
that's
actually,
why they're so collectible.
there is another company that does physical releases of certain PC stuff right now. But there's another
PC is terrible.
Right.
Have you ever seen a PC 2? No. You haven't.
I've seen an Apple II.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't even talk about Apple. You want me to go on a
We need to
hate
stream
rant.
some Commodore 64 stuff one day.
Yeah.
Let's focus on getting the Super Nintendo to work.
Yeah,
first.
Jesus.
Not a bad point.
What a day.
Not a bad point.
Also this bad boy. This
Keep
isn't
showing
comparable.
it to this. The camera's
yeah,
there.
I know. I'm being
You just keep putting it to your laptop.
Yeah.
Like,
Your laptop
this
is
was
not
$80. This was $80, and that Sonic Mania was $80. The pricings on these make no sense, as much as I like them. And that thing comes with
Are you getting special edition of
a
Xenoblade?
really I want to. Comes with a really nice art book, and a USB drive that has the whole soundtrack for that game. The game, unlike fucking Sonic Mania, kinda, and a cell from the fucking game. I thought that was really neat. But honestly, I think the people who do the best, like I'm just gonna get the last of my collector's edition junks out of the way.
he doesn't care about you.
I don't.
Oh, that's why it keeps interrupting.
I know.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Is I think Atlas does amazing work with their collector's editions because this thing is
and holding up
cool.
rocks.
Yeah, holding up rocks. Because comes
Atlas had to carry the
with a nice little case that's magnetic, which came with a plushie, a
Pretty good. How
bag,
about yours?
That's good.
a punch for AJ, an art book, CD. It was a good buy for a $40 upcharge on a game that's honestly possibly game of the year. Yeah, I'm not the only one who's putting it up there, so you can take your smugness and leave your store.
There's two games that could be game of the year right now.
And they're on the Nintendo.
And they're on Nintendo.
They're both up there too.
They are the only possibilities. And you know it.
He hasn't played Mario yet. He doesn't know it.
I barely touched Mario because I'm poor right now. All right, AJ.
Game of the year. You.
Alright, so my next two are kind of interjected. This one I did not buy at retail, but I bought
It looks black from here. I can't see what it says. What does it say?
That is the collector's edition of Fallout New Vegas.
Thank you. You're far away from the camera.
Yeah, let's.
I was gonna Lion King it.
Oh, okay. Too bad. It's mine now.
What, murder its father? Or?
Yeah.
There you go.
I was gonna the hyenas.
Here, give me your knife. Give him a
I
scar.
bought this. I bought this at. Remember that old game store that was in Findlay by Archie's?
Not at all.
Oh, well, there was a game store there for like a year, and I bought this there for like $60.
And you never
But
told me?
It was before we really hung out a lot. It was more Austin.
Back in the good old days.
Right.
I miss the good old days, apparently, when AJ wasn't around to tell me things.
But it comes with this book. Pretty cool. It's got pages.
That's pages. Selling people a collector's
It's
edition.
a comic book. It's cool.
It's a neat little comic. He's going through it. He's not showing you, though.
Sorry, I'm just bad at this.
You're the worst of unboxers of unboxing videos.
At least I know what the fucking camera is. It comes with a deck of cards because New Vegas is focused around gambling and stuff, and poker chips, which are pretty cool and actually heavy. They're not like the cheap plastic ones.
I don't get the point of this crap.
I know, but
collector's editions.
okay.
It also has a coin, but it's not in here, and it has the there it is.
Oh, it's not in there.
The making of DVD.
I do not understand.
It's got a lot of stuff.
All right. I'll put it to you like this.
Give me the coin.
Do you buy? Have you ever bought a gaming shirt?
Nope.
Nope.
I make mine.
Well, John is. I always forget that John is a heaven sent gamer, and I'm sorry.
Heaven sent in which way?
What else you got?
Heaven sent in the fact that he does no wrongs.
I know.
To him.
I don't understand collector's editions. I have never owned anything, but you did find one that I want. So
I did.
Yeah.
I did. He wants that 10th anniversary of BioShock. So if anybody feels like buying John that,
or just give it to me.
Yeah. Not just the game though.
No,
it's the collector's edition
with the Big Daddy statue.
Yeah.
I just want the statue. I don't need another copy of the game.
Yeah.
You give it to me.
Yeah. But
I'll sell it.
Yeah.
If someone gives it to me.
But yeah, at that point you can kind of see it because that's your favorite game, and you would love that statue.
I want that statue. That's it.
Yeah. But you get it at that point to a degree.
Yeah, but they couldn't. I mean, that's the only time I've ever said that they could, a Legend of Zelda collectible statue. I wouldn't want it.
You don't want the Master Sword?
No.
All right. Well, there is one, but all right.
Yeah.
I know.
The Master Edition.
I don't want
it.
Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good box, though.
It's somebody was selling on Craigslist the other day for like $9.
Well, they can suck it. Take that, Craigslist.
My other one is also Fallout related. We got the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition, which you wouldn't know because you've never played this, but the Pip-Boy is your little. It's kind of like a fancy watch. So the dude has this on his arm, and he uses this to get his inventory, data, map, the radio, all of it.
Boy, that's ripping off something.
What?
Let me think.
Okay, well, you think about what you've done. But anyways, the other cool thing about this is you can put your phone in it, and it works. It's like you can download an app and use it as a Pip-Boy in the game.
Yeah, that's ripping something off. Mega Man, for one.
Oh my God.
You don't even like Mega Man.
And it lights up.
Ooh.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of collector edition stuff is basically shelf porn. Do you love video games? Yeah. Yes. Do you want a physical copy? You love like a Pip-Boy.
Do you want to fling rubber
You about shot my eye out.
You shoot your eye out.
See, but my shelf stuff I wanted to display was always games. Or boxed consoles.
Yeah, that's why you had the Pan-Asian games.
Yeah, I mean, collector's editions for John, especially at the time he had joined into collecting, and what he decided to collect were boxed games.
Yeah, I mean, I had boxed games, boxed systems, which I'm glad I got away from, but I don't know.
Slid down a dark hole.
I did.
That is.
I got 400 plus boxed NES games to prove it.
Yeah, you saw brothers into the shop, have you?
Getting the
box systems.
Yeah, like when you were gonna go for the European ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had so much better box art though.
Oh, that's right. They have the TMNT one.
Yeah, the TMNT. They had just weird ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't Mutant because Mutant I think is like some banned term on TV over there. So they're like the Teenage Hero.
Teenage Hero Ninja Turtles. And actually, if you find the game TMNT, but it's Teenage Hero Ninja Turtles, it's worth more.
No, well, I know what to look for now.
And I don't know why it was banned over there. So
no, that's what it is. I think the term is either the term mutant or ninja is banned because it sounds too violent. It sounds like a violent job, and that's why they changed it to hero. Basically,
no idea.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Europe. I mean, I don't understand the culture. I've never lived there.
Really?
No. London is.
I couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell from my accent.
You're very cultured, Brian.
What?
Well,
now what you say?
You what?
You what, mate?
John, quit playing on Facebook.
I'll show you what for.
Act like you care.
Vegemite is my favorite. Oh, that's an Australian thing.
Yeah.
Vegemite.
Vegemite. Avocado toast is my favorite. That and biscuits.
What's gonna see this? He's gonna
Avocado toast is a thing. I don't know why.
I don't want to be here now. Anywho.
But yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of the wrap for us. I mean, this was a much shorter topic than the top 15 games for us.
Yeah.
But that's kind of nice for editing for me.
Completely unprepared for this.
Yeah, we might retouch on the subject at some point, so we can talk more about like maintaining collections and junk like that.
What kind of 12-year-old can fit their arm in here?
You gotta open it up, jackass.
As we watch John try and fist some plastic.
Look at this.
I see it.
I'm afraid to snap it down.
He'll never get it off. John will have to walk through life.
I know. I think
being
I'll
a
break
Bitman.
it.
But
You mean Mega Man?
yeah.
What did you say?
From everyone here at the P.Switch Podcast, I'd like to say, we're a week from. We're not even a week. It's 4 days from Thanksgiving. I'd like to wish you all a
4 days
happy Thanksgiving.
Black Thursday.
Good luck with your Black Friday stuff, because that's, I don't know.
Get all the video games.
Yeah, there's some good sales, but I just can't this
That's
year.
why I get a ton of Switch games.
Gotta be poor.
We aren't having sales.
You did buy a $1,200 laptop.
Hey, that laptop is why we get to do this show.
But we did it without it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to be able to do this in your own, AJ?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You already bought it. It's too late now.
Yeah. All right. But as I said, you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
Eat some pie for me.
Yeah, eat some pie for the people who can't eat it.
I got you.
Well, you can eat pie.
You really want to end the podcast on that kind of joke?
Yes, I do. Goodbye and good night.
Toodaloo.